Hello, my name is Brendan, and this is The Crawl, a channel where we talk about, play, and make dungeon crawlers of all flavors. We've covered many games on this channel, including big releases from almost every generation of gaming hardware, to modern blockbusters and indie gems, and even my own hobbyist game dev projects. But today, we're going to look at games made by you. Over the past couple years, a community has formed around this channel we now lovingly call the Crawlmmunity. And many of the viewers, friends, and colleagues who watch and contribute to The Crawl are also game developers working on projects that I think more people should know about. So today, I want to highlight some of the many new and upcoming titles made by the Crawlmmunity with this first ever Crawlmmunity Showcase. Some of these games you may have seen before, while others are making their debut here for the first time. By the end of this presentation, I'm certain that you'll have a selection of new video games and tabletop games to check out and add to your wish lists. Without further ado, let's look at a selection of games that are already available to play. And we'll kick things off with a recently released prequel to one of my favorite games of 2023 that you can download and play for free right now. Lucid, Tears of the Moon is a first-person dungeon crawler made with the Sword of Moonlight Kingsfield making tool from 2000. That makes it one of the few games made with From Software's official Kingsfield making software. Explore various dungeons for powerful weapons and spells to forestall the previsioned end of the world. The Kingdom of Lyria rests in darkness, surrounded on all sides by a vast poison sea. In ages long past, brilliant silver moonlight fell upon Lyria, leading to its ascension as a great kingdom of magic. But this time of solace may soon end. Calamus Cerulean was granted a vision of this macabre future. The great old one who sleeps beneath the earth will soon awaken from its slumber and plunge the world into another dark age. Tears of the Moon takes place before the events of Lucid, created by Akuma Kira. It is available on Steam now as a free download. Next, we have a look at a fun little dungeon crawler created by a member of the Crawlmmunity as one of their first big games. Explore a mysterious dungeon in this dungeon crawler RPG. You are Gobby, a small goblin, wanting to find an exit from the seemingly infinite dungeon. But beware, deadly traps, mad monsters, and even humans infest the labyrinth. Worse, it seems the place is only growing. Discover 10 interconnected levels with classic grid-like controls. Walk, run, jump, swim, take stairs, and fall across different floors. Meet a varied cast of inhabitants, and maybe make some friends. Fight with your dice in turn-based combat. Luck is not something you can rely on. Only your wits will lead you to victory. Unleash unstoppable combos using your dice and skills. Crack open chests and discover powerful new dice to add to your arsenal. Trade items and abilities with a dungeon merchant. Build yourself a unique dice pool and unlock devastating skills. Dice and Goblins is available now on Steam. Next, we have a look at a game from one of the most interesting RPG developers I've certainly ever come across. Retired adventurers await in a guild just next to the psychic Hellmaw at the center of Purgatory. They will trust you with their souls, you will trust them with the fate of your city. Purgatory Dungeoner, aka my grandpa died and all he left me was this one dungeon in Purgatory filled with nihilistic adventurers, is a roguelite RPG about plundering a psychic Hellmaw for personal closure and the resources to build a town beyond the grave. Strive to keep personal touch as the village grows beyond your expectations. Assemble complex adventuring parties full of people with histories, motivations, and untouched baggage far beyond your knowledge, and attempt to find the things that make them want to stay intact. You can check out Purgatory Dungeoner and the rest of Cannibal Interactive's games on Steam and itch.io. And now, I'd like to tell you about the most recent new release from one of the Crawlmmunity's most prolific developers. Dragon Runes 2 is a unique, streamlined dungeon RPG that utilizes grid-based movement and real-time combat, and a repeatable quest system where storylines change dynamically as you explore the game's various dungeons. Dragon Runes 2 is available on Steam. You can pick it up as a bundle with the game's original soundtrack, composed by developer Romanus Cert, and in a double pack featuring Quester Osaka from 1000 Games. And keep an eye out for a new expansion, Dragon Runes 2 Aftermath, launching soon. This next section is a look at several upcoming titles from first-time developers, hobbyists, and smaller teams from the Crawlmmunity. What happens when you fuse a harpoon gun to a tow truck? You get Harpoon, a twin-stick car harpooning action game. Designed for 1 to 4 players, Harpoon features multiple modes of play, including a head-to-head mode where players compete to get the most points in versus matches, or in a co-op mode where you play together to tow off waves of potential parking perpetrators. Each stage features different environments and challenges to be aware of, from crumbling statues to park and panic to volcanic eruptions and homing lasers on tropical Volcarnage Island. The game features multiple match customization settings, Steam remote play support, and you can put googly eyes on your car. You can check out Harpoon over on Steam. In Nested Dreams, you play as Nikki, a Muscovy duck who loves music, especially punk rock. She wakes up in a mysterious, endless desert that is only a small part of the strange, surreal worlds you'll get to encounter in this top-down adventure game. For more information, be sure to follow Cinemax on YouTube. Inspired by classic point-and-click games, choose-your-own-adventure books, and B-grade horror films, Cryohazard, from fellow YouTuber Burst Error, is a short story where you wake up from cryogenic sleep in a dilapidated research facility full of mystery, mayhem, and monstrous mutants. Multiple endings and numerous gruesome deaths are abound in this game designed for the original Game Boy. It's even compatible with the real hardware and playable via emulators. You can check out Cryohazard at itch.io. Labyrinth Lesmosyne is a turn-based RPG where adventurers delve into the oubliette beneath the city and are cursed, never to remember anything they learned inside. Recruit adventurers and fuse their minds to unlock latent memories and combine their abilities to unlock new classes. A cleric and a knight may become a paladin, a Viking and thief may become a pirate. Create powerful chimeras and build a party that can discover the truth at the bottom of the labyrinth. This game is in development by solo dev Slug Dragoon, who is documenting their progress on twitch.tv. Check out the links below for more information. Another project from a fellow Kingsfield-enjoying YouTuber, Skeletons with Human Faces is a demo for the upcoming Snails Have Skeletons adventure game from Aesir Aesthetics. Explore, fight, and solve puzzles and quests to peer deeper into the mystery of this dark adventure game, set in a land where the boundary of waking life and nightmares is blurred, and the distinction between life and death has lost all its meaning. Explore and fight your way through the land to uncover the sources of its hardships. The demo for Skeletons with Human Faces is available now on Steam. We've got plenty more video games to show off later in this showcase, but for now, I want to take some time and highlight a selection of tabletop games made by folks in the Crawlmmunity, starting off with an upcoming project from our friend Richard over at RPG Fortress.
In a world of ice and rust, cooperate or die. Enter Stave, a world of eternal darkness and unending winter, a world of steel, spell, and psionics. Explore the snowbound continent of Westermont, fight mind-devouring beasts, and uncover knowledge from before the apocalypse. Create your one-of-a-kind player character by choosing one of 6 races, 9 classes, and 9 personas. Engage in brutal combat encounters with bone-crushing physical attacks, masterful magic, and mind-shearing psionics. Uncover long-forgotten secrets and navigate the icy world using a multitude of personal skills. Role-play your way through intense non-combat encounters using the unique Ego, Super Ego, id system.
For more information on Elk, be sure to check out the RPG Fortress Discord linked in the description below. And you can check out the free-to-download Scenario Bible for the game's dark fantasy setting at itch.io. Next, let's look at a trio of tabletop RPGs, each with its own distinct flavor, from the tabletop studio by Odin's Beard RPG. First is Runecar, a Norse fantasy Souls-like TTRPG designed for 2 players. We Deal in Lead is a Weird West gunslinger TTRPG inspired by Stephen King's The Dark Tower. And Midnight of the Century is a mid-90s pre-apocalypse serial killer investigation TTRPG inspired by Millennium, Silence of the Lambs, and Twin Peaks. You can check out all 3 games on Odin's Beard's RPG's itch.io page. Along with these brand new TTRPGs, Crawlmmunity members are also busy making new supplements, expansions, and campaign modules for existing tabletop games. And this one, Rotten Foundations, comes from our friend over at Paladin Pros. Rotten Foundations is designed as a beginner-friendly adventure, perfect for one-shot game night or an easy-to-run addition to your ongoing campaign. Within this dungeon-crawling one-shot, you'll find a story of subverted expectations that encourages players to work as a collective to tell their own collaborative, emergent narrative. Rotten Foundations is a system-neutral adventure easily compatible with OSR-style games like Morkborg, Shadow Dark RPG, Basic Fantasy, and Old School Essentials. It is also compatible with 5e and its 2024 update with some minor tweaks. You'll find Rotten Foundations at DriveThruRPG. While the Crawlmmunity has made their own games and supplements, one of the other joys of tabletop RPGs is sharing your adventures with others and entertaining your friends. And that's exactly what these next 2 projects are all about. Monsters and Mysteries is a comic written and illustrated by Greg Mello, inspired by fantasy, mystery, and horror stories, and his love of role-playing games. What started as a Halloween tabletop game night turned into a viral post that spawned off into character backstories that became the backbone of this comic series. You can read this ongoing adventure at mnmcomic.com and check out behind-the-scenes details about the real-life campaign that inspired the series. Perilous Storytelling is an actual play video series from our friends at the Please Stop Talking and Press Start Turbo podcasts. The boys have seen several adventures, but the latest arc, Dead Man's Hand, is the perfect jumping on point for new listeners. Join adventurers Billy, Cameron, Ten, and Mandalore Gaming on a Weird West adventure directed by Game Master Brent Daniel. Here's a quick clip.
The world is a cruel mistress. Fortune is fleeting, and no matter how well a job is done, the one thing you can count on is for somebody to stab you in the back. Addiction, betrayal, failure, and madness. Each hardship brings you closer to a dead-end town out at the ass end of the world. Whatever you wanted, whatever you needed, you're not finding it here. This town isn't anyone's first place to start their journey. Joker's Bend is usually where the story ends. Big Blind. The only saloon worth a damn and the final stop before an endless expanse of desert. Tonight a poker game is taking place. 5 folk gathered around a table playing cards with coin they can't afford to lose. The pale glow of candlelight suffuses throughout the saloon. A dwarven bartender absent-mindedly cleans glasses that were once filled with brackish, vile ale, and prepares to ready more drinks for the table as they so choose. Shifting his eyes from player to player, sipping from a glass of elven wine, holding a bad hand isn't new to him. It's all about the bluff. Billy, tell us a little bit about Gustav, our gunslinger.
Gustav de Sartre is a human gunslinger, high roller. He was once respected as one of the best when he went to those shooting competitions in the big city. He looks French. Beret and everything.
Throwing back beer after beer, dwarven lager after dwarven lager, seeing his cards through drunken waves of reverie. 10. Tell us a little bit about Barius, our paladin.
Barius is a bronze dragonborn paladin. He's sworn an oath of revelry, basically just a party paladin. He abides by the doctrine of the Codicus Brodicus. Hey man, it's what it says in the book.
Drinking the cheapest hooch they have to offer, with a tattered label that only says, "Real drink good." His bald head reflecting from the light of the candles and illuminating his cards with new possibilities. Cameron, tell us about Orm, our monk.
Orm the Hammer Gunag. He was a circus strongman, but that didn't pay very well. So, with each new town that they visited as a circus, he would take up jobs as hired muscle. And that's where he learned the skills and the way of the street as it was. But unfortunately, a job went wrong and he was framed for the murder of the circus ringleader. So now he's on the run in Joker's Bend. It's his last resort, and he's just hiding out from the law.
Asking for only a glass of water that had been stored near whiskey, but he swears that it will still kick him back out of his socks. Echoes of the future whispering possibilities into a mind racked with choices. Mandy, tell us about Syndro, our warlock.
Syndro was an elf who worked for the city, and he was very interested in construction, particularly adhesives. Except, turns out brick and mortar is pretty easy to do as far as the materials go, and he hasn't been able to find a new mortar, so, trying to make a deal with himself from the future, in an unholy pact, he has tried to find out what his future self knew about adhesives, but his future self also did not find a better adhesive. So now he searches the land, trying to find riches to go back into his research and become even richer, making the perfect mortar for brick.
I guess you could say he's stuck in Joker's Bend.
You could definitely say he's looking for brick and mortar. I want to hit you over the head with a cannon. I really do.
He's bricked up.
Now let's get back to some video games. We are nearing the end of the showcase, but don't worry, there are still several awesome games to tell you about. In fact, if you're looking for some upcoming titles to add to your wish list, this next section is for you.
You who entered Yaril. You lost your strength. Your mind is clouded. But your goal is clear.
Verho Curse of Faces is a dark RPG following the tradition of the Kingsfield series. It takes place after the catastrophic era of solitude, where masks have become the only protection against the Curse of Faces, a strange hex where revealing one's face means instant death. While the origins of the curse are still shrouded in mystery, many adventurers venture throughout the land to uncover its secrets. Will you strive to lift the curse from the world, or will you harness its power for your own ends? The choice is yours. Verho launches on Steam later this year. A free demo is available now. They Speak from the Abyss Zenith is a twisted homage to dungeon crawling RPGs inspired by the classics. Explore beautifully gruesome environments, solve sinister puzzles, and confront the woeful souls and frightening demons lurking throughout the abyss. Travel through the realm of despair and head towards the Zenith Point. In the distance lies the mighty mansion Melancholia. Will you find glory, agony, or freedom? Find out when They Speak from the Abyss launches soon on Steam. A free demo is available now. Cyclopean: The Great Abyss is a small-scale, mechanics-driven CRPG roguelike in a retro, monochromatic style that takes place in the underworld of H.P. Lovecraft's Dreamlands. You are an old dreamer who, through unforeseen circumstances, is now trapped in the Great Abyss, a vast underworld beneath the Dreamlands. Cyclopean follows the tradition of early CRPGs like Ultima and Legacy of the Ancients in that it presents two differing views of the game world. Outside of dungeons, you see your character from a top-down 2D display of the map, whereas in dungeons, the view changes to a 3D first-person perspective. Combat and movement play out in a turn-based fashion, but although combat plays a big role in the game, it's not the only means of achieving one's goals. You can also engage in stealth and dialogue to deal with the other inhabitants of this nether realm. Manage your gold, health, and sanity as you traverse the Great Abyss. Cyclopean: The Great Abyss is available now in Steam. The first Devil Spire fell. Now, the rest of the world is next, in Devil Spire Falls, the sequel to 2022's Devil Spire. Devil Spire Falls is a procedurally generated, open-world, hardcore action RPG built around dynamic and interconnected systems and mechanics, and a design philosophy inspired by PC RPGs and immersive sims of the 1990s. Create your own character and delve into this dark fantasy world where the actions of heroes past caused the first Devil Spire to fall and spread an accursed fog throughout the land. The game features a staggering number of activities and character building systems to explore. You can travel, fight, farm, and climb your way across vast landscapes and winding dungeons. While you have the freedom to do whatever you desire, the urge to conquer a newly risen Devil Spire does not leave your mind. Will you repeat the errors of the past and discover the truths behind these massive towers, or simply take their power as your own? Devil Spire Falls is available now in Steam Early Access. Ready for a new kind of action? In this challenging bump/action-adventure game, explore a vast world of fae, humans, and angels, with surprises and secrets hidden around every corner. Overcome foes in intense bump combat battles and outsmart hilarious hazards in this tale of betrayal, haunting lore, and fruitless yearning. From the creators of Anodyne 2 and Sephony comes Angeline Era, launching Q4 2025. A free demo is available now on Steam. Birdcage is a fast-paced, vertical-scrolling STG that blends the explosive action of 90s arcade classics with modern gameplay and storytelling. This game is set in a divergent human future where mankind has branched out into space and two opposing factions have emerged. On one side, Selene, in control of the moon and what remains of Earth, and on the other, Radon. Take control of the experimental gunship Halcyon, which is equipped with multiple beam attacks and its main offensive weapon, the sword. Shoot, slash, and weave through bullets and enemies in this story-driven arcade shooter. Birdcage launches later in 2025. Be sure to check out more about the game and Polygon Bird's other in-development titles on Steam. Alright, we have almost reached the end of the very first ever Crawlmmunity Showcase, but we still have one more big game. Please take a look. Discover your own legend in Lucid. After the Great Fall and the destruction of Lucid giant Alo, the world of Aiden has succumbed to dissonance. The Sentinel Order, meant to guard a fragile balance, is dwindling. As Owen, a young aspiring sentinel, you are sent on a quest to revive the fallen giant and restore the harmony of the celestial fabric once again. Absorb powerful abilities that expand movement and enhance combat, and uncover mysteries of the world of Aiden. Vast and interconnected, find and create new paths to discover new secrets and treasures. Encounter a diverse and vibrant cast of characters, from the close-knit sentinels in the petrified forest to the down-and-out slumdogs of Beacon City. It's up to you to help them and heal this fractured world. Lucid is currently in development now. Be sure to follow the game's YouTube channel and check it out on Steam for more information. And if you want to hear more about this game and its development, be sure to check out my interview with lead developer Eric on the channel. That brings us to the end of the very first Crawlmmunity Showcase. What did you think? If you're anything like me, seeing all these cool games made by small teams and solo creators is probably very inspiring. But I also know that figuring out where to start on a project like this can be tough, so I have one last thing. To help anyone out there who is looking for a way to kickstart their own creative projects, I'm giving away my game, The Necromancer's Tower, and an RPG asset pack away for free. You can use these as a baseline to start your own games, whether that be a video game, a tabletop project, a comic, whatever you want. The free download deal will be live until the date on screen, so be sure to check out the description and pinned comment for a link to download the files from itch.io. You'll also find links to all of the games and projects featured in this showcase. Be sure to check them out, add them to your wish lists, and follow the teams making them. Believe it or not, this is only a portion of the many projects being made by Crawlmmunity members. So this is not going to be the only time we do this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to catch the next Crawlmmunity Showcase in the near future, as well as all the videos I post on video games, interviews with developers, and even updates on my own development projects. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.